Hey everyone, my name is Sydney from Vertex Marketing Agency, and we are a Facebook ads agency. And today I'm going to be covering a topic that I think is one of the biggest questions that companies kind of run into when they decide, all right, now is the time I want to start advertising. Should I invest in Google Ads or should I invest in Facebook ads? Which one's better? Which one is going to bring me the most results? So today in this video, I'm going to be answering that question. And the real answer to that is it depends on a couple things like your industry, what kind of business you have, and your level of brand awareness. But I'm going to run you through what the differences are, pros and cons, and then in what situation you should choose Facebook ads and in what situation you should choose Google ads. And just a quick reminder that if you like to learn about Facebook ads and all things about it, you should definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel because we release videos like this every single week. And if you like this video, I think you learned a thing or two, you should definitely hit that thumbs up button. Okay, so let's actually first start by talking about what each platform does, and we're going to start with Google Ads. Then we're going to go through the pros and cons of each and in what situation you should consider using that platform. So Google is a search engine that captures demand for something. So you go on Google, you type in what you need, and they use your keywords to find the ad results that are most likely to match what you're searching for. So Google uses keyword-based searches to find what you're looking for. Some pros of Google, obviously, it is the largest search engine there is out on the market right now. Every single second, over 40,000 searches are made, which equals up to 3 trillion searches happening each year, and that number is only getting bigger. So there is a huge demand for searches on the search engine. And what it really does is it captures the consumer when they're actually looking for a product or a service. And for some industries, that can lead to really, really high conversion rates. And we'll go through that a little bit after. But what's great about it is that you are putting yourself in front of that consumer at the exact moment that they're looking it up. Google has a variety of ads, and in this case, we're just going to be talking about the AdWords, so the search results that come up when you're typing something in on Google. And the biggest downfall with that is that they're only text-based. So if you have a product or a service that really requires a visual aspect to it, you don't get that because it's all text-based. Now, the second thing is that you also might face some pretty high costs. And of course, this high cost can depend on the quality of your ad, but also on the industry. Some industries will see a really high cost per action and really low click-through rates just based on that industry. And here I'm showing you a couple different industries that will see an average click-through rate, but a really high cost per action or cost per click. So they're paying a lot for things to happen, but not many people actually convert. Now, when should you choose Google Ads? Well, Google Ads works best for any local businesses that depend on receiving calls, such as think of like a contractor or a locksmith, a plumber. Because if you think of the way that people are searching it up, usually it's on their mobile phones. They say, okay, my toilet's leaking, I need to call a plumber. I'm going to go to Google, search it up right away. It usually doesn't really matter that much what kind of brand reputation you have. If you're the first that shows up on Google Ads, you're most likely getting the call. And on mobile, these kind of ads, the Google call ads, actually have unbelievable high conversion rates. So Google is really there to capture you in that moment that you need a product or service. More so a service, and more so local businesses who do contractor work or things that you need right on this. Those kind of industries perform really, really well with Google Ads. Now, let's talk about Facebook a little bit. Facebook takes a little bit more of a direct approach when it comes to displaying the ads to the users. So rather than showing up on your time on the newsfeed based on keyword researches like Google, Facebook makes use of its users' data, including their habits, their lifestyle, the location that they're in, and other factors that kind of make up your ideal customer. And then you can choose to target that customer based on detailed targeting to put your ads in front of them, and Facebook decides based on that person who is most likely to interact. And essentially think of the Facebook platform as you're trying to catch their attention when they're not really expecting it. Google is you're catching their attention when they really need it, Facebook is catching your attention when they're not really expecting it. Some of the major pros of Facebook is that it has a much lower cost per action and cost per click than Google, making it much more competitive in terms of the ROI. So you can pay much lower and get a much higher return on investment because it has so much data. Facebook is the largest social media platform. It has tons of data in its database, which makes you be able to target very specifically who it is that you're looking for. Most people share their entire lives on Facebook, right? Like people are always posting, always talking about it. So that's the perfect kind of data that advertisers need in order to see really, really low cost, which is why it makes it such a great platform to advertise on. Another pro that Google doesn't really have is that it gives you ability to create lookalike audiences. So you can target people who have very similar attributes to those who have already interacted with you before. Because chances are, if this person interacted with your brand and they liked it, this person who also has very similar attributes will also like your brand as well. You can also create lookalike audiences and target people based on a mailing list, customers who have already come in your store before or who actually like your Facebook page. And Google doesn't really have that option. But of course, there are some limitations to creating lookalike audiences that really find those ideal customers for you. So if you're in the political industry, anything that has to do with elections or political issues, if you have anything to do with housing, like if you are a rental property, if you rent houses, real estate agents, have anything to do with financial income, so like mortgage brokers or financial planners, and anyone in the employment industry. These industries, the political, housing, income, and employment industry, have very limited targeting features when it comes to Facebook ads. So in this case, those industries might work better on Google ads because of these limitations. And what it limits you on is your ability to create lookalike audiences. You can't use their personal information to target them because you're getting a little bit too personal about their income and their social status. So Facebook doesn't allow that. So that is one of the limitations. But another pro for Facebook is that it is very visual. You can create, the only way to create an ad on Facebook is to put an image on there, some text and a button, and you can try lots of variations. So it lets you create a lot more eye-catching advertisements than Google does, where Google is text-based. So if you have a product or a service that you really need to showcase what you have to offer in terms of an image or a video, Facebook is the place to do it. Facebook also allows you to choose objectives based on your business's unique goals, and it will optimize for that. So it's very versatile in that sense. So you can optimize for website conversions. You can optimize for people just seeing your ad once a day and making sure that every single day it shows up there with the reach campaign. You can also choose to just get impressions and make that person see your ad as many times as possible. And you can also optimize just for clicks, so for people clicking on your ad. So there's lots of different options that you can choose from in terms of how you actually get charged in your objective. Based on the objective you've chosen for your ad, it'll affect how you're actually charged. So ads that are focused more on visibility, like impressions and reach, will be charged per 1,000 impressions, while those that are focused on actions are actually charged per click received. So on Google, what you're paying for is the clicks. On Facebook, what you're paying for is the eyeballs. And this allows you to get much more brand awareness with your ads because you're being charged based on those who are seeing it. So it's a really great way to kind of increase your brand awareness. Now, with all the pros that come with Facebook, there are a few cons and negative sides of Facebook. The first one is that many people complain that the targeting on Facebook can seem a little bit creepy. So if you go onto Google and you search up shoes and you're looking at different pairs of shoes, and if you want high heels or if you want runners, the chances of you going back to Facebook and seeing multiple ads for shoes is pretty high because of those third-party trackers that can see what your intent is on Google and then translate that by sharing the data with Facebook. Now, a lot of people will complain that is a little bit creepy, but this doesn't really stop them from clicking on the ad and actually converting. This is why Facebook is so successful, because although Google can capture your attention when you're actually searching it up, Facebook can remind you that you were looking for it and re-spark that question that you had when you were searching up on Google. So this is why Facebook ads can be so successful. Most of the world is on Facebook at the moment. So just to kind of recap, If you're looking to capture users in the moment of looking to purchase a product or a service, Google Ads would be your best bet due to the level of intention that there is with that audience. They're going on Google, they're looking for something. Now, if you think about all of the ads that show up first, the chances of you being that number one that they're actually going to click, that will be determined on the quality of your ad and a little bit more also on the reputation of your brand. Some people will choose some companies over other because they know them a little bit better. However, if you're trying to bring more initial awareness or influence maybe an ongoing consideration, like someone searching up shoes and then they come back to Facebook and now they're going a little bit more through that influence cycle of reminding them that they should buy shoes and that there's different varieties, then Facebook can help target those people specifically, the ones that are looking for the shoes, and help them actually convert. So Facebook really creates that demand. It's a demand generator. Whereas Google Ads is demand capture. Okay, so those are two really important parts to understand. Facebook generates demand and Google captures demand. Now, if you go through this video and you think, okay, Google Ads is what I'm looking for, I'm in that sort of industry, and you want to learn more about Google Ads, I am not a Google Ads specialist. I'll be completely honest about that. We do Facebook ads, so I can't be your professional in the two, but Google actually has a lot of resources that are free that you can go on to, and they'll teach you how to run your own Google Ads and how to actually be successful and what you should be doing. So I'll leave a couple links in the description below, but there's some great resources out there for Google Ads. Now, if you went through this video and you're in the industry that Facebook ads just makes more sense, based on the ones that I gave you examples for, I actually have something that will help you out a lot with that. So one option is that you can hire an agency to do it for you. That is usually the best recommended decision. They usually know exactly what to do and how to tailor that strategy for your specific industry. But I also understand that not every business has the ability to afford or even wants to give away that task to someone else or to another agency. So what we've actually created is a 5-day kickstart your Facebook ad challenge. So if you've never run Facebook ads before, this will bring you through from A to Z about what to do when you want to run ads for the first time. So we'll talk about the mindset that you need, how to install tracking with Google Tag Manager and the Facebook Pixel, how to actually create your campaign, how to create the ads, and how to analyze your data to optimize. So this will bring you through A to Z, like I just said, over the course of 5 days. If you are interested in learning how to use Facebook ads to actually grow your own business, then I would definitely suggest you check that out. It's completely free. And again, I'll leave that in the comments below. Now, we also have a Facebook group that is dedicated to helping people who are running their own Facebook ads learn more and communicate and just create a community of people who are running Facebook ads. And that is called All Things Facebook Ads, which I can also leave the link to the description and below. So I hope going through what is the difference between Google Ads and Facebook ads kind of helped you answer the question, what is the best option for you and which one you should be running in terms of where you are at your business. Again, the biggest thing to take away from this is that if you are in an industry that needs to create demand for a product, people don't necessarily know exactly what it is. They wouldn't go on Google, and search up exactly what it is. You can create that initial awareness on Facebook and get on their newsfeed when they aren't really expecting it. You can create that demand. If you're in an industry that doesn't require so much of a visual side to explain what you have to offer, people are typically going on Google to search it up, such as people in the trades industry. If you're a plumber, contractor, locksmith, like I said, that is a great place for you to be on Google. Now, on both platforms, you can't just throw something out there and expect to get results. Of course, everything needs to be wrapped into strategy. You need to have a quality ad to actually get results. And you also need to have quality landing pages and a quality sales process to convert those leads. So don't think that doing one or the other is going to be the end all be all and be a magic pill that you're going to take and get a bunch of leads. There always needs to be a strategy. So I hope this helps you guys out. If you have any more questions, what you can do is either just drop in the comments below, or you can join our Facebook group and just ask the questions in there and we'll be able to help you out. But I do hope that this answered your questions, and we'll see you on the next video.